What is up, everybody? Winning Pulse family. There's nothing like starting the day with a chant of "I believe that we will win." You're here for your Tuesday morning dose of Winning Pulse, the show that breaks down what actually moves the needle in the new Pac-12 college basketball universe. We're on every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. Thank you, everybody, for joining me live. Hope you're watching the video at a later time as well. As we know, the new Pac 12 is officially loaded up, and there are some absolutely brutal home courts that road teams are going to experience next season. Two of the chant that I opened with in the opening video, the "I believe that we will win" cheer, comes from both San Diego State and Utah State, and there's a reason they both believe they're going to win. They do win at home. They are great home courts. But today, based on some feedback I got, somebody said, "Hey, why don't you take a shot at ranking the home court, talk about the arenas and rank the home court." So we're going to rank all 9 arenas based on crowds, student sections. We have some actually analytical data from KenPom that has KenPom.com with Home Court Advantage. And we're going to talk a little about the elevation tax as well. Teams do pay for playing at elevation. So, and then I'm going to combine it all into I used my own custom weighting system, and we're going to crown the single toughest place to play in the new conference. So get your gloves out, whether they're boxing gloves, you want to fight about it, surgical gloves if you're from Logan, Utah. Get those gloves out. Let's get into it, gang. So first category, let's talk raw attendance, because an empty building really doesn't win games. So here's the 2025-26 picture. I just pulled data from one year, the most recent year. San Diego State, the leader, averaging just over 11,500 fans per game at Viejas Arena, consistently one of the top 30 programs in terms of attendance nationally. Boise State, number 2. Boise State pushes 10,000 a night on the average. Utah State, a little smaller arena, just under 10,000, about 9,700, and at about 94% capacity. So rock solid. Gonzaga is a little further down in terms of overall numbers, but they sell out every game. They have a huge sellout streak. They only have a 6,000 seat arena, but they're routinely over capacity. On the flip side, Fresno State has the biggest arena in the conference, one of the lowest percentages. They're down around 28%. They've struggled with consistency the last few seasons. It's really sad what's going on in Fresno. Some of us have been around for a million years. Like me, I lived in the Bay Area in the 80s. Fresno State used to travel like crazy for their basketball team. The Red Wave would show up in other arenas. They were in the Pacific West, the conference at the time, and they would travel thousands of people, and now they struggle to draw in the thousands at home. So it's sad. But just to mention also, Oregon State, Washington State, Texas State in the 3,000 to 4,000 range. We've seen a little bit of an upturn out of Washington State. Upward trend with some of the recent success there. Historically, the top programs, the San Diego States, Boise's, Utah States, they've stayed strong and stable, and they have consistency. So there's real intimidation in terms of the size of the crowds. Something else I want to note, and this is going to be something to keep an eye on. I think the home crowds are going to be even tougher during conference play. Several of these universities are state universities. They have large student sections that are out on break between the fall and spring semesters. And with the new Pac-12 only playing 16-game conference schedules, that means fewer games, if any, will be played in the break between semesters. 18 games were played in the WCC, 20 games in the Mountain West, 18 in the Sun Belt. So you had games being scheduled right around Christmas time when students were out. So now we're going to be looking at a start that's probably closer to about June 6th for conference games. And I expect to see bigger and bigger student sections for the conference game. So that's uh, that's the that's the overall size of the crowds. But as we know, size isn't everything. It's who's making the most noise that really counts. So let's talk student sections. They're the heartbeat of what goes on in any true home court. And here's my rank breakdown. Uh, Number one, and this is qualitative, gang. I don't have anything to say one's better than the other, but this is just based on some of the things I hear and some of the things I've observed. Utah State, the HURD, a massive dedicated block. They stripe they do blue and white striping. They do all kinds of great things. They show up early. They never stop. Relentless energy, blue surgical gloves, a lot of noise when they clap. Number two, I have Gonzaga there, the Kennel Club, tiny but legendary. Over 1,000 rabid students packed shoulder to shoulder, screaming nonstop for decades. It's pure intimidation. They're really, really good. Number three, and believe me, there isn't a lot of difference between one, two, and three. San Diego State, the show, just a tremendous organization, creative chaos at its best, giant celebrity cutouts, time chance, student section that turns Viejas into a madhouse. Remember, this is totally qualitative. But I have talked to a bunch of players who have played not at Gonzaga, but have played at all the arenas around the new teams that are the teams that are coming to the Pac-12 from the Mountain West, and they placed Utah State just a tad higher than San Diego State. So I arbitrarily put Gonzaga in the middle of the two. Go ahead, beat me up. I can handle it. I'm a big boy. Some of the other ones are solid um, to developing, but the top three really impact the game in a big way. So let's go. Let's go to the next category. As we know, students do bring the chaos, but the numbers don't lie. Let's check the data itself. Let's go to KenPom for the overall home court advantage. These are cold, hard numbers, gang, of home court advantage numbers. No hype, just math. So Utah State checks in at number one, a 4.1 point advantage of home court over non-home court, top 10 nationally. Colorado State, number two, sits at 3.7 points a game. Washington State at 3.6, San Diego State, Boise State check in at 3.4, Gonzaga a little lower at 2.9, only a 2.9 point advantage at home. That might surprise some people. Remember, though, this is pure data. It doesn't really capture maybe how terrifying the kennel might feel when you're standing in it, 6,000 people screaming at you. So remember the other thing, though, that and this is where it gets a little tricky. Uh, the data is influenced by performance at home versus on the road. And it means a team that's consistent no matter where they play is less likely to show a big delta for the home court. I'm speculating that might be what's going on with Gonzaga. I really don't know, gang. I don't know. But Utah State for sure. Tough place to get to in the wintertime. Logan, not an easy trip. You better charter into Logan. If you fly into Salt Lake, you can get stuck flying in and out of Salt Lake. So, anyway, that's how they rate all the way down to the lowest Texas State, but Utah State a clear advantage. So, data is one thing, but try breathing at high elevation. Let's go to the elevation tax. You can talk about a millionaire's tax around some states trying to implement millionaire's taxes. We have our own version of the elevation tax in in the new Pac-12, and there are two schools that really stand out at elevation. Colorado State at the highest elevation, 5,000 feet, Utah State at 4,800 feet. And there is a real oxygen disadvantage for sea level teams. It is visible. You can watch teams fade. Sometimes it happens in the first half. I've noticed in watching games in Fort Collins that it's about the 32-minute mark, 8 minutes to go in the game, when the home team is able to typically put their foot to the gas, and the visitors from sea level typically have a hard time responding. I can tell you, Brian Dutcher at San Diego State is ecstatic. He no longer has to visit more than two elevation schools, leaving behind schools like New Mexico, Nevada, Wyoming, and Air Force from having to play conference games. Believe it or not, though, Boise State and Washington State they're not low elevation, and so there's a little bit of a hit in terms of elevation at 2,700 feet. And believe it or not, these are top 25 in terms of elevation around the country, relative to the rest of the nation. So it is there's a little bit of a factor there. The bottom arenas, San Diego State, Oregon State, Fresno State, basically are at sea level, no tax at all. Um, you can see a swing in games in terms of efficiency early on, mostly early on in the season. Probably affects conference play a little less, but at a non-con schedule, teams are not quite ready to play at full pace, full level. There's probably a bigger advantage early on in the season. So there's the crowds, there's the students, there's the data from KenPom, there's the altitude tax. Let's combine everything. So, drum roll, please. Here is your official new Pac-12 home court ranking. I've got it split into three tiers: the elite tier, the strong tier, the needs work tier. And at the top of the elite tier, Utah State, I have as number one. Gonzaga and San Diego State round out the elite tier. And I want to tell you, there isn't a heck of a lot of difference. I'm one of these people that say, you just got to pick one. You got to state an opinion. You got to go with something. I'm putting Utah State, the HURD, a huge reason, the elevation, a huge reason, the excellence of the program, a huge reason. I'm putting them at the top, but Gonzaga and San Diego State are just a teeny bit lower. Boise State, Colorado State, Washington State in the next tier. Boise State can be a tough place to play. The crowds, when they sell out, 12,000 people, good crowds, maybe not quite the student section. CSU the other way around, only 8,000, but they are right down on the court. And when the students are engaged, nearly 40% of the crowd is students. And when they're engaged for big games, when they show up and the place sells out, it is a very, very difficult place to play. And both Boise State and Colorado State, and a little bit lesser extent Washington State, approach that elite tier. And then the needs work: Oregon State, Fresno State, Texas State. Those are the best places to get road wins. So there you have it. I've got Utah State as the toughest home court in the new Pac-12. So let's take a look at some comments. Here we go. This is a comment that showed up. Going with the Spectrum and the Kennel, since both are consistently packed with fans and their students always show up. Of the two, Utah State might edge out the Zags given the arena design at the Spectrum. This is a smart man. This is how I had it too. And just to give people around the new Pac-12 an idea of what the Spectrum is like, it is a fun building to see a game. It is very old school. There are still guy wires that are attached to the backboards, but very, very old school inside, very modern on the outside. So beautiful when you walk in, and then you go in, and it has a great old school feel, and it's really, really an enjoyable place to see a game. Here is Hickory Dock. Look at this. These are people. This here we go. 1, 2, 3. We're all thinking the same way. Lee saying Zags best home court advantage. Here we go. Moby had this is Fort Collins. This is CSU. Moby has some work to do to get to the top three. Blue hair is a bit too quiet. Just to let you know. So for those of you who follow me, I do CSU shows. I had a game last year where I was very, very loud. I sit in the seventh row behind the CSU bench. I come from those of you who know me know where I did my undergraduate work at Duke University. I used to sit back in the days when I was at Duke, students could sit right behind the opposing team's bench, and I could sit right behind Dean Smith of North Carolina, Lefty Drizel at Maryland. I could scream and shout and say anything as long as it was clean. And so I tend to be very, very loud and vocal as an old man, and I've had CSU fans tell me I need to be quiet. So Moby will not catch up as long as you have the blue hairs. But that's I wish New Mexico would at least join as basketball only. That would be intense. Great crowds. You talk to any of the coaches there, they'll move their timeouts to the free throw line because the crowd is so noisy during the timeouts. So anyway, here we go. Great assessment. The top three give Boise the nod over CSU due to their consistent attendance. What's the capacity at Wazoo? Let me go back. I have the chart with the capacity at Wazoo. Oh, let's get rid of the comment here. Oh shoot, it's blocked. Sorry. Well, we can do the math. Oh, capacity 12,000. I'm sorry. Yeah, they have a big arena. So there we go. Anyway, that's it. That's what we have for today. Let's uh let's uh let's call it a day. This has been fun, folks. Thanks again. Thanks for all the comments. Thanks for the suggestion of shows. Thanks for joining me live on this Tuesday, this wonderful snowy day in Fort Collins. For this Tuesday edition of the Winning Pulse, we'll be dropping more fresh episodes Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of this week. You'll see me again, 9 a.m. Mountain Time. Tell your friends about the show. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit the notification bell. Hit the like button. Let's see. Here we go. This is a comment on the Cougs. They have a tough time filling the arena as the travel down Highway 195 is brutal in the wintertime. Yeah, Logan has issues, but they figure out a way. The town supports them so well in Logan. It's not a big city, but the students are there and the town shows up, and they might drop some people for snowstorms. There's people that may not drive in, but the local community drives what goes on in Utah State. Anyway, everybody, thank you for joining me. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Who did I get right? For those of you watching the video, who did I whiff on? Who do you want to punch me out on? Best takes. I'll give you a shout out on tomorrow's show if you leave me a fun take. If you like the video, you want to like the video if you can. We'll do some more arena. We'll do some more deep dives around the conference. So I'll see everybody bright and early tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Mountain Time. Until then, drive fast. Take risks. Peace, everyone.